All right, what's up, everybody? Your boys are back. Adam's here, Black Talk Smack Talk. Man, I got some of my crew. I don't have the full crew today. I got, I'm in the house, obviously. I'm the most important one. Then, unfortunately, we got Charlie out in Camano Island. And then we got Bruce out in the Bay Area. We got a special guest with us today. One of my favorite players from the town. I think he's personally one of the more underrated hoopers out of Washington. Micah Downs. Micah, how you doing, buddy?
I appreciate the love, bro. I appreciate the love. I'm good, just sitting here, Portugal, going through this quarantine stuff like everybody else.
Right.
But fortunately, right now, you know what I'm saying? I got me a little spot for the week. I'll give y'all, let's see, how can I switch this? Give y'all a little preview.
Ooh,
oh, hey now.
I'm out here on the beach for the next 3, 4, or 5 days. I had to get out of Lisbon, get disconnected from civilization, and just come enjoy my family, enjoy my time while I'm out here, enjoy my peace. Just try to take a step back. You see, I'm wearing a Benfica joint.
There you go.
There it is. I ain't mad at you.
There you go.
Yeah, we good, man. We're living all right. We all right.
Kind of talking to you, like you said you had to get away from Lisbon in Portugal. What was a day when you were back in Lisbon? What was a typical day in the life looking like for you during this whole time of being in quarantine?
Whew. That shit was, after a while, it started getting tough, you know what I mean? Like, at first, you just waking up and grinding and just, like, kind of every day you thinking, like, all right, this is about to pass. You're good. It's just going to be, a week, couple weeks, 2, 3 weeks. And now we're going on almost 9 weeks. You know what I mean? So waking up every day in a situation like this, I think it's key to have a routine. Wake up, make your bed, take a shower, brush your teeth. Like, that sounds all routine and everything, like a normal day life. But if you do all that normally at the same time, put on some clothes instead of like shorts or sweats or just like your home clothes, you know what I mean? Put on a fit, even if you're going to walk around the house. It just makes you feel better, you know what I mean?
Facts.
But as far as my daily routine, I'd get up, wake up, have a cup of coffee, sit on the balcony, you know what I mean? Just enjoy the view for a few minutes and then have some breakfast with my girl, take my pre-workout, get my home workout ready. Set everything up, my band, my mat, everything like that, get my music going, set the little man up with the iPad, let him do what he's got to do for an hour. And, sometimes he would join us and chill out with the workout too, but that'd be the basic routine, man. Like, every day, get up, eat breakfast, do your workout.
Right.
Eat your post-workout, you know what I mean? Take your protein shake, and then the rest of the day, you're trying to figure out other things to do.
So, man, Micah, we want to thank you for your time. We want to, get to know you, as a person and stuff. So when did you first get started in basketball as a youth? When did you first start getting to the game?
Oh, man. My first organized team was, I was 8 years old. I was living in Selah, Washington. It's near Yakima.
Oh,
few hours from Seattle. My dad put a basketball in my hands when I was a little kid. You know what I mean? At first, baseball was my first love. But then 8, 9, 10 years old came around and I started falling in love with basketball. So my first organized team was in Selah when I was 8, and then from there on, I'm just everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you said you love baseball, you had a love for that, and obviously basketball. Now it's your passion and your profession. Anything else besides baseball and basketball? Did you ever get into at all that age, or just those two?
I played football as a kid, but I was really lean, as everybody knows. You know what I mean? I was skinny and frail, so football didn't last that long, and baseball and everything else took over. And then basketball, I just, developed a natural knack for it and just became my first love and everything. So that's kind of how things went with hoop.
When you were at Selah, was that the first time did you realize when you were there that you were good at basketball? Sometimes people are like, okay, I just love the basketball or the sport for the sport. But when did you actually first realize, like, man, I got some skill, some talent for ball?
I mean, I grew up playing with my uncle, my uncle Aaron. He's 8 years older than me. And so I grew up playing with him, trying to compete with him and battle with him and stuff, you know. And to this day, he's got one of the purest jumpers I've ever seen in my whole life. So I've always tried to, you know, mimic my jumper after him and make my jumper like his and everything like that. And, you know, when I was young, he would always take me out in his driveway and shoot baskets with me and stuff. And I remember our first time I made a basket on a 10-foot hoop was with him, and I think I was like 4 years old. So, you know, that's one of my best memories as a basketball player and as a hooper. So that's kind of where my game, I owe a lot of my development and my love for the game of basketball from my Uncle Aaron.
Okay. Did he go on to play? Did he play college ball or anything?
He tried to play NAIA, but he actually had a bad motorcycle accident just before he was ready to go to college, and he had a really big problem with his knee, and it was like a really big scare for our whole family and everything, you know. Like, he had a really crazy accident, and you know, he probably had more potential than everything went down for him as far as his career and everything, but you know, that accident happened and whatnot, and you know, it's kind of the way life goes.
Right.
But as far as, you know, my love for the game and my development of the game and just my shooting ability and everything like that, I owe a lot to my uncle for that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's you know, fast forward a little bit through that youth.
All
And
right.
let's say, you know, what was your initial feelings when you moved to like to the greater Seattle area? What did you know about, you know, that just kind of the greater Seattle area in general when you first got there?
I mean, I was born in Auburn, and I lived a lot of my childhood up until grade school in the greater Seattle area, and then we went to like the Yakima area, and I spent a lot of middle school and stuff, and then the story goes crazier from then on. But I mean, my heart and soul is from the greater Seattle area, and then coming back there before my junior year, before I played for Bothell and all that, and then coming to you know, reconnect with a lot of my family members and stuff, which a lot of people don't know about. That was probably one of the best parts about coming back to the Seattle area, was being able to connect with a lot of my cousins and my uncles and my, you know, some of my extended family.
That's dope.
But yeah, other than that, you know, Seattle's always been home. The South Side, Auburn, you know, all that area is, you know, where I grew up, where I lived when I was a kid. That's where I was born. So just coming back and, you know, representing that side of the state and finished out high school there and all that stuff was really awesome, man. You know, especially my dad went to high school in all that area and everything like that. And just, you know, being in that area and representing the city and just all that stuff was really cool. You know,
No,
the AAU program through Jim Marsh and Friends of Hoop, all that shit, man. That was really one of the blessings in my life, man. Yeah, rest in peace, big time. That was a soul crusher, man. I don't even.
Tim's a legend,
I don't even know if I want to go down that lane, bro. Because I don't know if I'd be, without getting too emotional, I don't know if I'd be in the place where I am right now, literally looking over this beach. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for Jim Marsh and Coach Chuck Williams, bro.
Right.
If it wasn't for those two guys, you know what I mean? Like, I came back to the area. They saw me at some little BS spring league thing, and they took the chance, said, hey, come play with us at Friends of Hoop. And after that, I blew up, and that was it. So I owe a lot to those guys, man.
That's dope.
Chuck's my guy, man. That's my dude. Chuck's cool as hell, man.
Chuck's a G, man. I haven't seen him in a long time, but you know, those two dudes, man, took care of me big time.
Now, you said obviously you said growing up, your uncle was very, you know, important in the development of your game. You know, during that, back then, you know, coming up, you know, obviously through elementary school, middle school, and high school ball, every player's got someone they look up to or wanted to form their game around. I mean, was there any players that you know, looked up to growing up or you really liked?
Man, I was a big fan of everybody. But one guy that I can really accredit my development, my last 2 years in my high school, and that really helped me get confidence in myself as being an elite player is Michael Dickerson.
Oh, okay.
I was in the gym at the Mercer Island Jewish Community Center every day, my junior and senior year after school. We was in there every day. Me, Mike Dickerson, and Steve Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know another. I'm gonna put another name out there, which I don't know if I can handle it. Sloan Stroll. You guys know Sloan Stroll?
Okay.
I don't think I don't know.
Sloan Stroll, rest in peace, man. He passed away 2 summers ago. He got cancer, man. He was in my wedding, my first wedding, and he was one of my workout guys. He was one of Steve Gordon's workout coaches. You guys remember the Hat Man, Steve Gordon, right?
Yeah, of course.
So he was one of Steve Gordon's guys, man. And literally, bro, I was in the gym with Sloan every day with Mike Dickerson, me, Spencer Haas, Martell Webster, a couple other cats, you know what I mean? And some other older pros. Richie Fromm was in there from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, and we were grinding it, bro. Those were the guys that got me to the point where I was at, bro. Like, that got me my confidence, and like, because obviously everybody could see that I could play, but I was away from big basketball for so long.
Right.
You know, I was moving around all over the place, and I was away from big basketball. And then I come back and work out with these dudes, Mike Dickerson, you know, Richie Fromm, Sloan, Steve Gordon, all these guys, man. Like, they really just put me on the platform and got my game where it needed to be, man. Like, to go D1, to go to McDonald's All-American, to go to the MJ game, to go to the Nike All-Star shit, all that stuff. So, you know, big respects to all those guys, man. Nate Robinson too, bro. Nate Robinson was a big time cat, bro, that helped me get where I needed to go.
That's dope. Man. That's
big time, bro. He was in there too with me and Steve Gordon, bro. You can hit him up, be like, he'll tell you all that stuff. When I was in high school and Nate was in college, still getting ready to go to the draft and all that stuff. We were grinding late night, Rainier Community Center, bro. Grinding, bro. Late night.
Good. No, I mean you definitely knew. You named definitely named some great local Seattle legends. Obviously,
man.
you've had respect
Absolutely.
and connected with. You know, and I hope to this day you're still in connection with a lot of those guys you named off.
For sure, no question. I can't wait to get back as soon as this coronavirus stuff's get done and get back into, you know, playing this pro-am, work out with all the guys. Get in the gym, you know.
Was there any other players do you have any other favorite players from Seattle? And that might not even be in your time era, but it seems like you stay very connected to the area and looks, you know, obviously evaluating hoop. Any other guys game you really like that are some local Seattle cats?
Oh man, my favorite, bro, which was one of probably my biggest nemesis in high school because we played in the Metro 4A was Marcus Williams.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Well, I've talked to him recently. You know, so on and so off, and you know he's doing his real estate stuff. But
right.
You know, that's another cat, bro. That's another cat that just like people forget about, bro.
You know what
I'm saying? Like people don't put him on the lists. People forget about cats like me and him, but like, bro, we killed the Metro 4A. You feel me?
Right.
Like we dominated. Like he averaged like 30 a game. You go look in the books, and he's up there in top scorers of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Marcus
So he's another, bro. He was crazy, dude. We had some battles too. I remember my junior year at Bothell, I had 20 points, 25 rebounds, and I think he had 32 and like 16 or something like that. Like we just had a dumb battle, you know.
Right.
Everybody was there. Bill Self was there. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Self was there. Michigan State, what's his name?
Izzo.
Tom Izzo.
Izzo was there. Shashevsky was there. Calipari was there, bro. This was literally probably one of the highest recruited games in Washington high school basketball. Every single coach you could think of was there in the stands at Bothell, bro. Near Marcus, bro. We were battling, man. That was, you can't name a better time with Seattle high school basketball since 2003 till 2009. You feel me? Those 6 years were just fire.
Yeah.
We were putting out dudes every year. We were putting out like six to eight D1 guys every single year at least.
Crazy.
Definitely, for sure. And
So
just
we're
kinda,
Nathan Hale guys. So
yeah.
I remember the battles we had with Roosevelt, because Roosevelt, I lived closer to Roosevelt, but I went to Hale, but I remember watching some of those games. Marcus was
I
the young
just
buck
wish
in the neighborhood.
I just wish somebody would try to put an AU team up against my friends at Hoop Team, bro.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
It's
get in.
me, John, Martell,
Oh,
Spencer, Ryan
We're gonna get to that.
Steinecker,
oh yeah, we're
Rich
gonna get into
Johnson,
Friends of Hoop.
and then go to the bench.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into Friends of Hoop in here in a sec.
For sure. And I'm just out of curiosity. We're all hoopers here, all love the game, but as what comes with basketball comes with the shoe, the kick game, man. So what's your favorite? What's your favorite hoop shoe, man? What you
My
like?
all-time favorite basketball shoe to play in is the Jordan 10s.
Oh, the 10s,
Okay.
the stats.
The Jordan 10s, bro. The Jordan 10s,
Okay.
like, it doesn't matter what they come out with every year, all this new technology, all this fly wire,
Right.
trap. Like, let me trap you in something. Nah, give me some 10s, bro. I'm good. The 10s are the goats of all hoop shoes. Any hoopers out there listening,
Yeah.
do yourself a favor and get some 10s. I'm telling you.
That's dope.
I always
Can't
look
go
at
wrong
those
with them.
I always look at those as the Kendall Gill, because Kendall Gill used to
Bruh.
rock those 10s back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
He made them look filthy.
Yep.
I can just remember Seattle when Jordan was trying to come back, Scotty put his shoe up and the camera and was pointing to the bottom of his shoe, like pointing all the accolades at the bottom of the shoe, like, yo, you got to come back,
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah,
Awesome.
the Jordan 10s, those are my favorite shoes ever to hoop in, bro. No
There you
question.
go.
No question.
You still wear them? You wear 10s when you hoop out there in Portugal?
Every time I can find a pair of 10s, bro, I'm copping them, dude. I got 2 or 3 on deck still in storage that I'm waiting for seasons to come,
That's what's up.
That's what I try to hoop in, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, the shoe game is obviously part of the overall swag game. So when someone watches you, we got to ask a question about the tattoo game, man.
Yeah.
The tattoo game is serious. How many tats do you have?
How many tats do I have? I don't know. I can't really count.
A lot. That's like Adam.
I got both my arms completely sleeved. I got both my ribs. I got a chest piece. I got just above my knees on both sides. I got my full right calf on the outer side of my leg. So I mean, I've got a lot of hours of work for sure, and I got a lot more planned. So
you do? Okay.
The cool thing is, man, the thing is, I'm waiting for this damn quarantine to like completely just like, relax a little bit, because there's some really, really super talented artists in Portugal, bro.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Fire. Some super bruh, like fire, like, and they're cheap. They're so cheap. It's crazy. And they just want work, and they're so talented. We were on the beach just right here by a little spot we got tonight. We met a couple, German couple that's here vacationing too. And this dude had some really nice work. And I was like, bro, where'd you get your tats? And he's like, I got them here. I was like, what? You're from Germany, but you got them here? He's like, yeah, Portugal's got some of the best artists, so. Yeah, I'm as soon as they can let this quarantine up, I'm trying to get there and blast some of my legs. So
there you go.
Sounds like Adam might need to go to Portugal too.
They got some.
Yeah, man.
They got some talented artists out here for sure.
For sure.
I really like the Jesus piece I have on my shoulder here.
Oh yeah. Yep.
This is one of my favorite pieces, just because I'm a religious dude, and I just feel like he's, I got the way I got it done is his eyes are looking up towards me. So every time I feel like I'm like, excuse my language, fucking up or doing some dumb shit or, not holding myself accountable, I can just like look at myself and be like, look, bro, God's right there watching you. Better check yourself, man. Just a reminder,
When you get back into town, where's the first place you're going to go eat at when you get back to Seattle?
Dick's Drive-In.
You already know. 100.
Yes, sir.
Bro. I need those Dick's Deluxe, bro, and a milkshake.
There it is.
I'm not playing around, bro. I need a Dick's Drive-In. You couldn't even look. There was no other possibility of me answering that question otherwise.
That's what we were hoping. That's what we were hoping for.
That's love. That's love. So now we're gonna transition. This is a big topic. We talk about it a lot because we're a little bit older, but your friend's a hoop team.
Mhm.
Arguably, the best AAU team Washington State has ever seen.
The country.
Or the country, for that matter.
Bro, we're top 10 in the last 20 years, no question.
Oh, yeah. So you got Spencer Haas, Brockman, Martell, yourself. You have Mitch Johnson.
My guy, Mitch.
Was IT on that team also?
No, IT wasn't on a team. Yeah, Ryan Stoddicker.
Okay.
Who played at Montana, who was also a D1 quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he played D1 quarterback, right? Ryan Stoddicker?
I know he hooped.
Or am I mistaken?
I don't remember if
Did he play football or not?
I'm not sure.
Anyways, he was a superstar quarterback in high school, regardless.
Okay.
He was a superstar two-way athlete, and then we had other guys. We had John's brother the year before.
Paul Brockman. Okay.
It's hard to remember, man. I was like almost 20 years ago now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had some other cats.
You have our guy Marcus Graham?
Marcus Graham. There you go.
Marcus was nice.
Marcus Graham was there. We had Desmond Mason, another Auburn cat. Desmond, what's his name? Mason? Last name? I don't know. My bro, I played with so many ball players over the years, and try to remember so many names, especially overseas and all that. But man, we had a squad, man.
Right, that squad. So
and it was so fun, bro. We just
I bet.
Yeah. So talk to us about that experience, like of playing with such a dynamic group, and kind of intertwine that with some of the best memories you had playing with that group.
Well, the cool thing was Jim Marsh, bro.
Yeah.
It was Jim Marsh and Chuck Williams. Like, we had so many guys and so much talent. If you think about it, you got 5 McDonald's All-Americans on that team, 4 or 5 McDonald's All-Americans on that team, and that's a lot of buckets to get out to everybody, But the thing is, nobody cared about who scored or who did what or who did that. We just wanted to win, bro.
Right.
We just wanted to win, and that summer right before we were all about to be seniors, that summer when we won the Vegas tournament and we just literally blasted everybody that summer by like 30. Literally, the championship game or championship day that Vegas summer, I think they changed it to the Nike tournament that summer. It was the Nike Big Time. I think the championship game day we played like 6 games, bro. Damn. 5 or 6 games. Whew. 5 or 6 games championship day, and we literally we blasted everybody by 20 plus. Just beat the shit out of her. We're just out there just dunking, alley-ooping, fast breaking.
Right.
Ryan Stoddiger's going 6 for 6 from 3.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? John's got 20 rebounds. Martell's hitting 5 threes. I'm dunking on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going crazy. Spencer's blocking everybody's shots. Like, we're just out here just running the circuit,
That's dope.
You remember some of the cats you remember some of the cats you played against? Some of the big names you played against in that?
Oh man, we played against like the Texas teams, the Houston Hoops teams. We played against Kevin Durant that summer, the DC Blue Devils that summer, but he was young. He was like 15, 16 at the time.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we played against the DC Blue Devils that summer, maybe down in the Peach Jam.
Okay.
So yeah, bro. I mean, I played against Lou Williams, Mike Mercer, AJ Mayo. We played against all those cats in the summer circuit, all those Houston teams that were killing everybody. We played against the Oakland Soldier teams, all the LA teams. You know what I mean? But the thing is, nobody could fuck with us, bro. We were dominating everybody, just beating them up. All these cats from Seattle, bro, just putting the town work on them, man. Just beating them up. And Coach Marsh is over there just, high-fiving. Come on, guys. Just super positive the whole time. Like, no worries. Like, didn't matter. If teams would go on a 10, 20-0 run, it didn't matter, bro, because Coach Marsh he just had our back, man.
That's dope.
Just so positive and uplifting the whole time. Like, that was one of the best basketball experiences for sure of my career, playing for Marsh.
Damn.
Man, that's
Marsh and
exciting.
Chuck Williams, man, that was love, dude. It was like a family, traveling, hoteling with all the boys, you know what I mean? Eating at little, Waffle House, Denny's, like, you know how it is on the AU circuit, bro. It's just life, bro. Like, going through 6 pairs of socks a day, trying to like wash your shit in the sink, like, you know.
I mean,
It was the life, bro. But we were all hooping, man. We were all just hooping. Didn't matter.
That's what
no
it was,
money,
man.
No nothing. Just hooping, just because we love the hoop, bro. Trying to make it somewhere.
right. What was before we start talking about high school? What's one game when you were playing with that dominant squad? What was one game that really stood out in your mind where you put on a show in front of coaches, or you were just like, all right, man, this is it. Like, I really put my, cats are gonna remember me after this game.
Man, I don't think I can like put it down to one game.
Okay.
Because that summer before our
senior year,
before everyone was chosen to be McDonald's All-Americans and stuff like that, before they made all those selections, like that last AAU circuit, bro, we all just killed, bro.
Okay.
Like all of us, bro. Like
That's
everyone, John, me, Mitch, Martell, Spencer, Ryan Stoddicker, like the starting 5 on that team went D1.
Right.
For
big
basketball.
Big D1.
Big
too.
D1, like Big Sky, Pac-10, like, Big
Big 12.
What was the conference? Big 12 at that time, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, the Big East, like everybody, we all went like major Big D1 or NBA.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's so hard to just memorize one game, one good memory, because we were just drilling people, bro. Like that, I'm telling you, that Nike big time, that championship day, we had 5 games and we smacked everybody by 20 plus, bro. Every team, all the teams from the South, all the teams from Texas, all the teams from New York, all the New York Gauchos teams. You know what I'm saying? All the New Jersey player teams, like we drug them. Like we're just practicing, bro.
Damn, that's
that's all attested to Coach Marson and Coach Williams, and how they just grinded us in practice, like shell drill. We're AU team, but we're doing shell drill to start every practice, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We'd have practice at Seattle U. We'd have practices at the Mercer Island Community Center, or the Pro Club, I'm sorry. Bellevue Pro Club, the old Seattle courts they got in there. You know what I'm talking about?
I used to work there.
Grinding, bro. Grinding, doing shell drill, bro. AU teams doing shell drill, and that's the thing, man. It was our coaching, dude. It was our coaching, bro. It was crazy.
Man, that's dope.
A1.
That's what's up. We'll switch over to kind of the AAU, but the high school circuit. You were what? You at Juanita, you were about 20. Let's see, you're 20 and 12. At Bothell you were 20 and 12. Juanita, you were 25 and 13. McDonald's All-American, Jordan's All-American, Parade All-American. Talk about like your how your game evolved from Bothell to Juanita, and you became on the national stage.
Oh man,
just the hard work, basically what you've been saying.
Bro, yeah, man, just grinding, bro. Like with the coaches, what I'm telling you, rest in peace, Coach Sloan. Like he was one of the biggest factors in me develop my game, bro, getting to where I needed to be, man. He was there every day. I call him after school. He'd come to the gym with me. Him and Steve Gordon. Mike Dickerson was in there every day with me too, bro. Just grinding, just in there, bro. Just putting the time in with these kids. Like, that's the cool thing about Seattle basketball is the old heads in Seattle, when they see a kid that they believe can be something, they really put the time into him. They put the effort into developing him. You know what I mean? And that's the amazing thing about our community is like our community is so fine knit. Everybody knows everybody from the time you're 12 until your career is over. As soon as you're about to spark up on the scene and until your spark is fizzled out, you're still within the family. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, those guys, man, like Sloan, Stroll, Coach Marsh, just getting into the gym, Mike Dickerson, going and grinding every day, just going to the JCC on Mercer Island with Steve Gordon, just, working my game. Me, Terrence, Spencer, Martell, we'd be in there, man. Like Mitch Johnson be in there, Ryan Stoddicker be in there grinding, playing ones, playing twos, playing threes, no fouls. Like, you just got to fucking just hoop to get tough. Like, man up. That's where it all came from, man.
When do you think it was? Was it that AAU summer when your game went to a national level as a recruit?
Yeah, man.
You know, when Kansas started calling and.
Yeah, that last summer when we literally beat the shit out of everybody and we're like top five in the whole country for AAU teams. Like, I don't think we lost maybe one or two games the whole summer. You know, we won the Vegas, we almost won the Peach Jam. We just were wrecking cats, and that's where I think that's where a lot of us, you know, kind of blew up. Besides Martell and kind of Spencer, because they were already kind of, you know, big NBA prospects and everything like that. But I mean, as far as me and John and Mitch and like Ryan Stoddicker and stuff, I think that summer really helped us a lot with getting ourselves out there and getting those D1 offers and just propelling our career, making ourselves into a national high school prospect.
Right. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember hearing like Brockman turned down Duke. That'd be crazy. Like you went to Kansas, Brockman goes to Duke. Like that don't happen out of the town. That don't happen on regular shit, right?
And now you see it, bro. You just see cats left and right from everywhere. Just the Seattle's really getting the respect that we should have been getting for some time. You know,
exactly.
Right.
Our basketball community there's not too much better, bro.
Right.
There's not too much better.
Speaking about the high school community or just the high school game, do you have like a favorite gym like in high school that you played at, or a favorite matchup that you like, a favorite team that you wanted to kill? Was it Roosevelt or was it like a Garfield?
I mean, my favorite matchup in high school was against Marcus Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because we were same height, same build, long, slim, kind of the same athleticism, same type of game. Good handle, can shoot a little bit, like a point forward type player, you know what I'm saying? So I think he was probably my favorite player to play against. But as far as favorite team, I mean, y'all know I went everywhere in high school, so I've been all over the damn place. So I don't know if I have one rival school that I could say is my biggest rival, but when I was at Bothell, I could say my favorite team that I played against was Franklin.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had two really good battles my junior year against Franklin, which we won both of those games.
Right.
Was that against Aaron Brooks? Or was
no,
he
Aaron
gone?
wasn't there, but they had Richie Phillips and
Vanoy?
Was it?
No, Vanoy wasn't. Vanoy was there. Yeah, they have Vanoy, but he wasn't playing quite the role he had before. They also had Lindale Burleson. Yep. That went to Nevada.
Yeah.
So they had those three cats.
Yep.
Yeah, Richie Phillips too. Yeah. He was nice.
Yep.
He was athletic.
He went to Nevada too, right? Didn't he go to Nevada?
Yep, he did go to Nevada. Yep. Blocking everything, dunking everything. So my junior year, that was probably my favorite games that I played against, those two games against Franklin. And then my senior year at Juanita, probably my favorite games was the game at Bothell where they beat us. And I think the ref threw me out for some extra shit because I was wilding. I was hella hotted. I was hella heated and something. The ref threw me out. That game at Bothell, because I just came from Bothell, and then there was a game at Juanita against Inglemore, and it was literally, if you guys remember Juanita's gym, they had like a field house, so it's big, right? So they only had bleachers on the side, and behind the baskets was like secondary courts.
Yeah.
So that game against Inglemore, I think they had Jordan White Frisbee, they had Nate Shakirik.
Oh, Big Nate.
And they had like I forget the guard. They had two guards, like one guard and one wing. I forget their names or something, but they were pretty good players at the time. But that game at Juanita was literally standing room only. Like behind the baskets, all the bleachers were completely full. And I think Jordan White Frisbee took like a charge on me in the late seconds of the game to seal the game for us. We lost that game against them. He took like a charge on me. Like the last 30 seconds was like our last possession, one of our last possessions or something. It sealed the game, and it was crazy. It was pandemonium, man.
Damn.
It was standing room only in that game, bro. It was crazy.
That's dope. Yeah, just the atmosphere in the city, man. City hoops in Seattle, man. It's second to none. You know.
Yeah, bro.
It's hard to find a better.
Absolutely, especially when you got big time players that are getting ready to go somewhere and do something. You know,
Exactly.
Right.
people love it out there, bro. People love it.
So yeah, speaking of big time players like you, Martell, and Brockman, you guys all played in the McDonald's game.
Yeah.
Well, what was that like? Did you guys all fly out there together on the same plane? Like, man, dog, we really came up. We're playing in the McDonald's game. Like, what was that whole experience like?
We were on the same flight, if I remember correctly. It's crazy. I don't really think about this stuff that so often, man. It's been so long, bro. That's 15 years ago. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
For real.
15 years.
Time flies,
But
man.
it was incredible, dude. Like, I sit back sometimes, I see some pictures where I'm meeting Bill Russell. I'm shaking his hand. I got to sit down and talking face to face with John Wooden. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, yeah, bro, just like right there with all these cats. Like, I had dinner with Bill Russell. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, and to sit there and go through the ceremonies and the dinner and have them name all these players and have them put your name up there with all these greats, you know, Jordan and Vince Carter and just all your heroes, Iverson, everybody that you grew up idolizing, Kobe Bryant, you know what I'm saying? Like, my name is on a list with these guys.
Right.
There's only so many cats every single year. There's 24 kids every year, bro.
That's
24 kids.
Yeah.
24, bro, out of how many high school players in the entire United States, dude? 24 men and 24 women. And my name is on that list with Jordan, with Kobe, with Kevin Garnett, with all these greats, dude. And I got to shake John Wooden's hand. I got to shake Bill Russell's hand. I got to sit and take pictures with these dudes. So that's something that will never escape my lifetime, never escape my memory. You know, like, that goes down with you forever, dude. That's like your marriage or your first child or, you know, when you gave your life to Christ or whatever. That's like, that's up there, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's up there.
When you were actually going through it, did you realize like how big of a deal it was at the time? Were you just like in awe? Were you like, you know, just like, man, this is really crazy?
Honestly, now that I look back at it, I think I was in a bigger awe at that point than I am now. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you're 18 years old. I haven't met a lot of celebrities. I haven't met a lot of famous people. I haven't met a lot of big time names in basketball or historians of basketball. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, it's a shock. But now, after you experience some life, and I've met Jordan, I've hung out with KG, I've played with Paul Pierce, I've like spent time with Rondo, I've been in the gym with all these different cats, all the cats from Seattle, Jamal, you know, Mike D, Nate, Will Conroy, B. Roy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, the list goes on, you know what I'm saying? And after experiencing all that stuff and being around this type of basketball atmosphere, and then you sit back and be like, man, I got to like, yo, this shit's heavy.
Right.
Like, I've chilled, I've hung out with the cool cats and all the all-stars and stuff, but I really got to sit down and shake hands with the legends. Like, the guys that paved the way, the guys that like made basketball the way it is, made basketball the lifestyle it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a blessing, bro. There's not a lot of people in the world that can say they got to sit down and shake John Wooden's hand or pick Bill Russell's brain or any of that stuff. Bro, even being in the same room, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know?
With pioneers, Russell, MJ,
Absolutely.
all them cats. Yeah.
Bro, MJ, Bill Russell, Wooden, all them dudes, man. Like, all of them, bro. It's like meeting angels, man. You know? When you're a real hooper, bro, and you meet cats like that, it's like meeting somebody on just heavenly. Where did
you get to meet MJ at? Was it at that game or just over the span of your career?
I met MJ at the Jordan All-American game, Jordan All-Star game in New York. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yep. Yeah. At that time you had to choose two games you could play in.
2 games.
Oh yeah.
So when you're coming out of high school, like, you'd get invited to the Reebok, to the Adidas, to Jordan, to the McDonald's, to all these different All-American camps, but you had to choose. You could only choose 2 of them at that time. That was the NCAA regulations. And at that time, the Jordan game and the McDonald's were, no question, by far the most prestigious. So
you also chose to do the dunk contest. Have you done a lot of dunk contests prior to that?
In the McDonald's game?
Yeah, you did the McDonald's one.
Man,
Yeah.
I think that was my first dunk contest my whole life, bro.
Oh,
I
really?
was so scared, dude. Man,
Okay.
I didn't know what to do. I mean, I had some bounce, you know, at
Right,
that
right.
time. I could jump a lot higher and do a lot better dunks now that I'm older, which is strange. You know, you talk to a lot of cats now, they're like, man, I wish I could have my 18, 19-year-old legs
Right.
back. Like, nah, bro, I want my 33-year-old legs. Them shit's got to bounce. For real, bro. I ain't lying to you.
Yeah.
But no, the dunk contest was cool, man. But I mean, Gerald Green, how can you compete?
Right.
Man, it's tough to compete with somebody that can go between the legs and their socks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Sure.
So,
That's crazy. Yeah, we'll move on to the college career and talk a little bit about, you know, what you spent, a semester at Kansas, right?
yeah.
Yeah, is that right? Well, so I think when you were coming out of high school, your final two was Kansas and UCLA. What was the deciding factor there? Oh, it was Gonzaga was
coming out of high school.
Oh, okay, yeah, and the Gonzaga was on your game
coming
too.
out of high school, it was between Kansas, UCLA, and Gonzaga.
Oh, and Gonzaga. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
What was the deciding factor to Jayhawks?
Man, I went. That's
Coach?
my only visit I went. That's the only visit I went on, and I had a great time. My time was amazing. At that time, my father was a really big Jayhawks fan, so that had a lot of influence on my decision at that moment in my life. I mean, you can go back and read all the newspaper articles, and everybody knows the history between me and my father. We don't need to go that way.
We won't.
That was a big influence on my life at that point in my time. I wanted to make him happy, and just, you know, having the Jayhawks and all that history, basketball history and everything. And I was, you know, overwhelmed by the bright lights on my visit.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you go visit there with Mario Chalmers? Because you played the McDonald's game with Mario too, right? Or Mario?
Yeah. We were. I think. He was. We were there on our visit together. Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely rock.
Yeah,
I got my whole family's from Kansas, so I got a couple Kansas grads in the fam. A little rock chalk.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not a Kansas. I'm a Husky UW guy.
Okay.
But you know, at KU, you know, when you were at KU, there was a Seattle presence. So did you connect with, like, I believe Giles was there and Stewart was there, right? When you were there at Kansas, right?
CJ?
Okay.
Yeah, no, look, I connected with those guys great. Me and Roderick for sure, and CJ too. But, you know, as everybody knows, and the newspaper knows, and the internet knows, everybody knows about my whole family, all that type of stuff. I was going through a lot of things, and I wasn't prepared to be at college by myself that far away in the first place. And then with everything going on besides that, was just, eventually it just became too much, you know, and overwhelming. And to be a man, if I want to be honest, I was a pussy. I wasn't ready for Coach Self.
Oh, well, yeah.
No,
that's real.
That's
real.
the truth. Like, I wasn't ready
shit.
for that. I wasn't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people don't know that part about the story, you know, and the truth behind that. But as a man, I wasn't completely ready for it, you know. And to this day, I tell people that are close to me, and not a lot of people know this too, but with all respect and love and everything to Gonzaga, like, that's where my heart is. I'm completely 100% happy with the way everything went there, and with the way my life has gone since then. But as far as my career as a basketball player and my develop as a professional athlete, I feel like if I would have stayed at Kansas, I think I could have developed, and, you know, my game would have went to maybe another level and had more of an opportunity to stick in the league, just because of the Kansas label and everything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Pedigree.
But,
the pedigree is there.
Yeah, the pedigree for sure. But at the time, I just wasn't in the personal space and the mindset to deal with the toughness and the strictness and the boss ass mentality that Coach Self has. I just wasn't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? And with all my family issues and everything else weighing in, it was just too much at the time. But, you know, it's the way life goes, and shit, the way the cookie crumbles, you know?
Well, I mean, how was I mean, it sounds like obviously when you went to Gonzaga, it was just a great, overall. I mean, was it a great overall experience? It sounds like you enjoyed your time there and whatnot. How'd you
Oh
feel about
yeah,
that?
Gonzaga was amazing, man. Like I said before I answered your last question, Gonzaga was my family, like
Oh,
it was like a breath of fresh air and kind of like a sanctuary just to kind of go and relax,
Right.
because coming out of high school, I had a lot of pressure. I had a lot of everybody expected me to be this and be that. And with everything going on at the same time, it was just a lot. And going to Gonzaga, I could just kind of get there, go. I was a transfer, so I didn't have to play right away. I could just kind of find my space, find my role within the team, reach myself, find myself, get my emotions and everything back into gear, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get my personal life kind of into effect before I get back into really playing basketball. So transferring there and doing all that type of stuff was really a blessing within my personal life. And I mean, like I said, I can't complain, like
Dope. That's dope.
For real.
maybe my career would have went better if I stayed at Kansas. Maybe it wouldn't have. Maybe I would have ended up fucking my life up with doing some dumb shit because I was going through family things and
Right.
dealing with depression and stuff like that. So you know what I mean? Hindsight's always 20/20, right?
yeah.
So I got love for both universities,
Absolutely.
Kansas is a top 5 fucking program every single year. So for them to consider me and offer me a scholarship and put that faith in me to come and play for their program's amazing. And Gonzaga at the same time to save me and help me out through my personal life and give me a second chance to better myself as a person and also continue my career as a basketball player. Like it's love all around, man. It's love all around.
And I mean, Gonzaga is just like you said, Kansas is a top 5 national program
Oh,
year round.
and now Gonzaga, bro, Gonzaga's
national.
right there. You can't argue there
Yep.
any level lower.
Exactly.
Now that
Now
you look at it 10, 12 years later.
Yeah. No, you played with some very, since you had a successful career, I would say, at Gonzaga, and you played with some great players. I mean, what were some of the accomplishments there that you were proud of, or some of those tournament moments or whatnot you enjoyed at Gonzaga?
My proudest accomplishment was probably when I got the conference tournament MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
My senior year.
That was dope.
And then after that, coming back and having our senior banquet and having my coaches, one of my coaches, Tommy Lloyd, talk about me and just say everything so great about me and how I earned this and deserve this, and have him break down and kind of cry about me because our relationship was really personal besides basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like when I transferred there, he took me under his wing and just treated me like a son, and just
Damn, that's love.
at the same time when I was fucking up, not going to my classes and like doing dumb shit and kind of just like not really taking my shit serious, he was on my ass like, bro, you got to get to class. Like he whooped me back into shape and got me back going to my classes, made sure my grades stayed on point, and just playing in that game, winning the conference tournament MVP, going through everything that I had gone through the accumulation of my career, and then having him give me that speech and just like praise me the way he did, like those probably two of my proudest and probably most memorable moments when I was playing at Gonzaga.
That's dope.
And how was your NCAA tournament experience? I know you got your first 2 years there. You guys got that knocked out in the first round. I think you guys experienced young Steph Curry at Davidson that one year.
He whooped our ass, bro. He gave us 40.
Damn.
I don't want to try to statistically quote and tell you how much he gave me in the first half, but I know I didn't play in the second half, so he's probably giving me some buckets.
But you guys made a sweet Sweet 16 run. Your senior year. After you obviously you guys were regular season conference tourney champs. You get your MVP. I mean, how did that run feel your senior year there?
Oh, dude, it was so cool, man. Just going that far, bro. Growing up as a kid and you hear like, oh, Sweet 16, like you're filling out your brackets and you got your favorite team to win it, and they're
Right.
oh man, they made a Sweet 16, like Sweet 16, like that sounds cool. You can't say nothing about the second round or the first round. Oh, I made it to second round.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, cool. But did you make it to the Sweet 16?
Right.
Did you make it to the Elite Eight? Nah, but
Yeah.
I did one time at least, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So growing up as a kid and then, you know, that finally happens, it's just like, damn, this shit happens like I used to watch it happen on the movies,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just, bro, it's amazing. And then that shot Nietzsche hit, Dimitri Goodson hit against Western Kentucky to force it to play North Carolina, man. Like, and the crazy thing is, nobody knows this, but he saved my ass because I missed a box out on the play before. They got a tip in and fucking took the lead. And then he came down and saved our ass. If you go back and watch the video, I missed a box out. It was yeah, but hey, that's the way ball is, you know.
Right.
End of the shot clock, you're like, oh, is it going in? Is it going in? Oh, wait, there's a dude laying it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, I mean, it was cool, bro. Like, bro, playing in the NCAA tournament, you can't. That's one thing that sticks with you forever, man. You get a ring from it, no matter if you go to the Sweet 16 or to the Final Four, you lose the first round.
Mm-hmm.
You get a ring out of it, so you know.
I didn't know that.
2 or 3 rings, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You get a ring just for going, bro.
Yeah,
just for going. So, got me a couple 2, 3 rings. I got me a Sweet 16 ring. You know, I got me a WCC Conference Championship MVP. So, I'm proud of my college career. Maybe the man I am, and yeah, man.
There's nothing wrong. I mean, you guys lost to that UNC team was eventual champs, so there's nothing wrong. You know, they won the title. You know, so
yeah, and they had 5 guys. Their starting 5 went to the NBA.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
so
for sure. And what was, I mean, just like, you know, give us a light. I know you obviously your close relationship with Coach Lloyd, but how was it, you know, interacting, you know, every day with Coach Few and all that, and you know, tell us your experience with him.
Coach Few's about his business. He picks and chooses his times when he wants to have his personal conversations with you, but he's a super personable guy. He's a player's coach. He's not going to motherfuck you to death in practice and just beat your ass in practice. His practices are hard and long and intense, but he respects his players. He respects what they got to say. I mean, coming to Gonzaga, honestly, you know, everything I said saved part of my life, man.
Oh, that's dope.
Coming there and getting into that family and having Coach Few be there as not just as a coach, but also as a fellow brother in Christ. You know what I mean?
Oh,
just being able to give me some mentorship in Christ, and you know, literally check me when I'm not doing right. You know, he keep track of my classes, stuff like that, and he'd tell me like, Mike, you're not being a Christian man right now. You're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he'd break it down to me that way. I'd have meetings with him in his office personally, one-on-one, and he'd break it down to me like that. So having him there at that point, along with Tommy and all the other coaches, Coach Giacoletti, Coach, my brain is, I'm so terrible with names. He took the job at San Diego. He was at Gonzaga. Coach Bill Greer.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, man, when I first got to Gonzaga, I couldn't stand him. Coach Bill Greer. I hated him. There was something about our personalities that just didn't click.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, he was my individual coach every day. He'd be there with me, and with Kyle Bankhead, who was one of our graduate assistants at the time. He played ball at Gonzaga too.
Yeah.
We'd be in there every day, bro. When I first transferred there, I'd be in there. I'm like, man, I got to do these workouts with Coach Greer and Coach Bankhead. Like, I don't want to deal with these hard-ass motherfuckers. Like, this is some bullshit, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm 19 years old at the time.
Right.
And I couldn't stand Coach Greer. But then, bro, when we found out that he took that job at San Diego and he was leaving us, like, I was so just heartbroken. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because of that relationship. By the end of the time before he left, our relationship became so close. Like, just like we could talk, chill, just talk about ball, and he'd be hard on me and be tough on me, but I couldn't stand him, but I'd love him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, he was another one too, especially when I first transferred there. He was one of the guys that really helped me develop my game, especially getting my shot coming off right off the pin downs.
Yep.
And he'd always just criticize me. He's like, good shot, I'd make it. He's like, your feet weren't right, but you made it because you got such good hands. You got such good, balance, but your feet weren't right. So figure it out. Good shot, but you fucked up. Bill Greer, Kyle Bankhead, he was there. He went to San Diego with Coach Greer when Coach Greer took that job, man. Those were two guys that helped me develop my game and really become comfortable at Gonzaga when I first got there.
That's dope.
Sounds like it helped you evolution of becoming a man, just in general, growing up.
Oh, that's one thing too. They put weight on my shoulders. Like, look, you're not living with mom and dad anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You're out here. Like, you got a degree you got to earn. You got a responsibility to fulfill yourself as a program. You know what I'm saying? Like Coach Few and Coach Lloyd and those guys, they would tell me, man, like, you can't just come and fuck up, bro. You got to hold yourself accountable for this program. We gave you a scholarship. Like, we gave you a degree, bro. Like, you got to handle yourself right. You got to work hard. You got to go to class. You got to do this. You got to do that. When I first transferred to Gonzaga, I wasn't holding my shit down right. I wasn't really handling myself the way I should have been. At Kansas, I was. My grades were A1. Perfect.
Okay.
And then I came to Gonzaga and I was like, all right, this is a fresh start. I'm closer to home. I'm comfy. I know some people here. I know some cats here from around the area, blah, 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 blah. And first few weeks, they were on my ass. Like, you're not getting it done, Mike. You better figure it out. So I owe a lot to that whole Gonzaga community, man, from everybody, from the president, Thane McCullough, to his wife, Julie McCullough. They helped me out so much when I first transferred there, man. Like, coaches, everybody, all my professors, man, everybody was so patient with me, just uplifting,
that's awesome.
kind, generous. Man, Gonzaga is incredible, dude. Yeah, big time family, bro. Big time.
There you go.
Now, I mean, after Gonzaga, and transitioning kind of to, your pro career and getting drafted. I mean, or undrafted. I mean, we can talk about that, just that whole experience and, going to play obviously in summer league, and now obviously you're playing, touch a base on that, during that transitional period from Gonzaga trying to jump up.
Well, my first transition was at the
Portsmouth, right?
The Portsmouth to the pro game was kind of at the Portsmouth, and I had a so-so outing. I didn't play the greatest, like, offensively or shoot the ball that great, but defensively, I was locked in, rebounding the ball, all this and that. And it was a cool experience because I was playing with cats that I didn't play against in college, from bigger conferences and stuff like that. Being in front of scouts, doing this, playing the NBA ball, playing the NBA game, quarter length, whatever. It was cool. And then going into summer league, like traveling, going to these different workouts and stuff, and just experiencing different workouts and how different coaches were with their workouts. Some coaches would be like all offensive skill drills, to see how you handle the ball, to see how you shoot off coming down pick and roll, see how you shoot off pick and pops, all types of stuff like that, pin downs. Other coaches would be more defensive or more kind of like see how good a shape you're in, cardio based, make you run your ass off, do all types of crazy shit to see how good a shape you're in, stuff like that. So, man, I had some hard workouts. I had some easy workouts. I had some workouts that were super fun. You know what I mean? It's just different coaches are different. They have their own philosophies and things like that. You want to see what type of guys can do, how they can maintain themselves mentally in a difficult workout, all that type of stuff.
Going through, obviously, summer league and, doing that for a couple of summers, did you get a lot of legit looks? How many teams you work out, or I guess?
I mean, I could tell you guys some stories and stuff like that. I had my first agent coming out of college was Brad Ames, and he was with Priority Sports.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have heard anything about Brad Ames, but if you can go into Google and type in Brad Ames and type in Priority Sports, and you can find a lot of legal documentation about some really bad things. I'm not gonna go into details because I don't want to slander anybody's name or talk about stuff like that. But I'll just, you know what I mean? Go on Google, type in Brad Ames and type in Priority Sports, and you guys will read about some stuff that'll make you really sick to your stomach.
Oh shit! Okay.
So my first agency was with Priority and with Brad and all that stuff, and I was promised a lot of things. After all my workouts, I was promised some guaranteed NBA deals coming out of my workouts if I go. Like my first contract going to Europe was in Croatia, was in Zadar, and I was promised by my agent that I would have a certain. I'm not going to name the team, but I was promised that I would have a certain guaranteed 1-year deal from a team that I worked out for. Before my rookie year. So you guys can go back and do the research and figure out the teams I worked out for, but I don't want to name teams because this is all promises that I'm told from my agent. So I don't want to sit there and put out and say this team really promised that and maybe it's really not true because I don't know if they really promised him that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I had certain things that were promised to me and such, and things happened. I came home from my first year pro in Croatia after my first year, and after this deal that I was promised, the general manager of this team resigned as the general manager and decided to go back into broadcasting with TNT. And so when he resigned, his deals that he had ready to get going, like everything fell through. I can't say what's true, what's not true, because, you know, this is all what I'm told from my former agent.
Exactly.
Ended up being federally indicted on some certain things. So I don't know what I can believe. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
So I had a lot of stuff like that happen the first few years of my career, as far as like I might get a deal, I might not get a deal, blah 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 blah, this and that. But it's been a roller coaster, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you had speaking of training camps, you'd had a training camp with, I believe the Celtics. Was that 2012?
Yeah.
You had a training camp.
Yeah, man,
I mean,
that was crazy.
How was that experience like with that with an organization such as them?
Boston's just A1 top tier organization. You can't say nothing bad about none of those people that work there, man. Anybody, like, they take care of their D-League team, the Red Claws. They take care of everybody that goes through their organization. That was one of the funnest times of my life, man. Being able to spend one-on-one time with KG, Paul Pierce, you know, Rondo, some of these other guys, Jeff Green, some of these older vets, you know what I mean? And being one of the last guys to be cut and go all the way through training camp and travel to Europe. And like, there was a couple nights, man. There was one night in Milan, and me and KG, we kicked it in my hotel room, played FIFA. Just me and KG. Like, he came to my room, played FIFA with me, bro. Just me and him. This is a true story. We just played the game, bro. Played FIFA, chopped it up.
That's dope.
Like, just 2-3 hours, you know what I mean? Nothing else,
awesome.
You know? Just being under these guys' wings, spending time with them, traveling to Europe, like, just learning the game, learning life experiences. Like, I think I've got some of the best lessons and experiences around the game of basketball, you know, being around Doc Rivers and being around KG and Rondo and Paul Pierce and those guys, man. Like, those are 4 legends, Hall of Famers right there, you know. All those guys have rings, you know, a few of them. So, getting cut from the team, just being able to spend, you know, 3-4 weeks with these dudes and just play ball and compete and just be on the same basketball frame and mentality and just study the game with them, watch video with them, practice with them, break the game down with them. That right there, dude, there's not too many people in the world that can say that. You got to really feel an intimate level of the game with some Hall of Famers, bro. Not just hoop or play pickup ball, but like study the game, watch film, travel, be on the hotel, like, you know, playing, train, this, that, you know, like really grind, bro.
Yep.
That's
cool. Yeah,
and you had
amazing.
that going into that 2012-13 season, you played for the Maine Red Claws, and weren't you? I mean, back then that was the D League, G League now, but you were didn't you get selected to the All-Star game for the D?
Yeah, it was an
League?
all. I was an All-Star game for that. I had a great season. I put up great numbers, shot the shit out of the ball from three. Had one opportunity to get a call up, which is another crazy ass story which nobody knows. I had a call up. They called me on I think it was a Saturday morning. Boston had called and said, after this game, we're going to bring you up. My agent had called me and told me I was sitting on the training table getting my ankles taped because we had like a 2 p.m. game or something. It was a mid-afternoon game in the D League. And we were playing the Suns D League team.
Okay.
The Phoenix Suns D League team at that time. And I twisted my ankle like third quarter, like twisted it really bad. And then after that, the next day, I think they signed Terrence Williams, another town cat, to a 10-day.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That 10-day Terrence got with the Celtics. I was supposed to get that 10-day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, not a lot of people know about that, but I was supposed to get that 10-day, that contract that he got when he got with the Celtics at that year, 2012 or whatever. Yeah, that was supposed to be my 10-day, but I got hurt in the game that morning.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a true story. Honest to God, that's real facts, true story.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right. Man,
that was my 10-day chance, man. That was like my little window to sneak into the league, bro, and I got hurt in that game.
Damn.
That's crazy.
You've had a nice career thus far. You've played all over the world. I mean, Belgium, Croatia, Spain, Venezuela, the Ukraine, Russia, Italy, France, Portugal, and the G League. So you've played in a bunch of leagues, but you've also played in like what's considered 3 of the top leagues outside of the NBA. So you played in EuroLeague, the G League, and the ACB. Which of those?
Don't forget the VTB league.
Yeah,
bro.
I was just about to say.
VTB league is
VTB.
that shit's elite, bro. That's right there with the ACB.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so those 4
right there with the ACB.
So those 4 leagues, which one would you say is the best?
I mean, EuroLeague is EuroLeague. But at the same time, there's some guys that play in EuroLeague that don't belong in EuroLeague. There's some teams that play in EuroLeague some seasons that don't belong there. It's all relevant year by year. You know what I'm saying? But overall, as far as the top quality, as far as a league every year by year, I mean, ACB and the VTB, they're 1A and 1B, bro.
And
they're right there with each other.
That's what
I think ACB is super tactical, super X's and O's, really smart coaching. And the VTB's, you have really good coaches too, and it's tactical too, but it's physical, it's big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got big, athletic, strong fucking guys down there. Big, huge Russians, big Belarusians, big, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dudes are just down there just chucking elbows and taking names. So as far as the leagues go, I think ACB and VTB are the top, if you're not counting EuroLeague or Euro Cup or Champions League or any of these international major international competitions. Those 2 leagues I think are the best, ACB and VTB.
So out of all those countries and all the cities you've played in, what was your favorite and what was your least favorite? In terms of like living situation and just the city in general or the country.
I mean, Lisbon's been amazing to live in.
Yep.
The league and the basketball is not the greatest, which everyone knows. But we got the opportunity to play in the Europe Cup.
Yeah.
And we were doing pretty good in our league, but the city's great. It's Lisbon. It's it's the capital. It's big. I got everything I need. I got American little stores, everything in the supermarkets. You find a international aisle.
Right.
Everybody speaks English. Like it's comfy. The weather's nice. I'm right here on the water. I'm 2 hours from 2 hours from the ocean where I am right now. I can just hop in the car, come down here and get a villa for a few days for a good price. So Lisbon's been amazing. I really like France a lot. I played in Orléans, which is about an hour from Paris. Paris is probably my favorite city in all of Europe.
Okay.
That's dope.
Yeah, Russia too. Russia sounds crazy. Saratov's kind of a shitty little spot. It's not the greatest city, but I made a lot of really cool friends and people that I'll remember for the rest of my life. The league is amazing. Moscow is beautiful. St. Petersburg is beautiful. There's a lot of history and culture. So, man, bro, I've been blessed. I played in Milan. I played in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Madrid. Like, bro, I played in every major city. Istanbul.
That's crazy.
Any dope city you can think of in Europe, Eastern Europe, anywhere else. I've played a basketball game there in front of thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's so filthy.
No matter how shitty your situation can be or whatever, I can think of how bad it can be or whatever. I might be in a shitty league in Portugal, which isn't the best, or I might be playing in BTB and whatever. But I'm still balling, bro. I'm still cashing a check. I'm still
living a
chasing
dream.
my dream. I'm still autographing fucking autographs for kids that are asking me every time. I'm taking pictures for people. People are still following me on social media and sending me messages saying, "Oh, you're my idol. I wish I could be like you someday. Can you save your workouts so I can try to be like a ball player like you?"
Damn.
Like, bro, I don't need to get a $100 million check, bro. Like, everybody wants that, but at the end of the day, I come home, I make good money, I take care of my family, I got food on my plate, kids are asking for my autograph, asking for my pictures.
Filthy.
I'm playing the game that I love to do, that God gave me the ability to do. Like, there's not much you can complain about that, man. Like, there's really not much you can complain about that. Like, it's a blessing. I'm very thankful.
That might be the realest answer we've ever heard.
Right.
That's the real
This
deal,
is
man.
what it is, bro. Like, I could take $1 million and that might make me feel like a baller, park a Lambo in my fucking driveway. But, bro, I'm eating. I don't have to worry about putting a fucking roof over my head. I can eat whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? I can come down and take a vacation in the south of Portugal for 5 days off a whim. You know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing, bro. I'm thankful for it, bro. I'm very thankful for it. The life as God has given me with the game of basketball, to bless myself, to bless others, to touch people, to inspire them, to just make people believe that you can do something great.
Man, that's love.
That's what it is.
That's love. Real quick on your career, once again, we appreciate you taking a time out of your vacation to talk to us, man. So to tie in this question, I have two questions, but I'll tie it in together. So in your career thus far, what's been your biggest achievement? And then to tie into like your career, what's a goal of yours moving forward? I know you're 33, so you're still young. So you got some years left. What's your we're older, so that's why you young guys.
Hey, I appreciate you saying me. I'm still young. I'm 33. I'm on my 11th year, bro.
Okay.
I'm up there now.
So what's been your biggest accomplishment so far, individually, and then what's a career goal, or what's some goals that you have moving forward in your career?
Bro, honestly, my biggest accomplishment is just my whole career, bro. I'm in my 11th year playing basketball as a professional overseas. Like, right. There's a lot of cats, there's a lot of friends that we have personally, me and you, the Stewart brothers, their careers got cut short. You know what I'm saying? They're little brothers. Like, they could have been ball players somewhere. There's all types of cats from Seattle, dude, that like, they could have been pros somewhere that just didn't get the right opportunity, or the economy wasn't at the right place at the right time, or somebody didn't see their highlight tape. So for me, my biggest accomplishment, bro, is just my career, dude. Right. I've been doing this shit for 10 years with no injuries. My first injury was this year, my whole career, dude. My whole career. So I've been doing this shit. This is my 11th year. That honestly, I don't need to I want to win a championship somewhere. So to the answer to your next question, that's what I want. I want to win a championship before my career is over. But at the end of the day, I ain't got no regrets, dog.
Right.
I've played 11 plus years at the game that God gave me the ability to play. There's
Mhm.
one in how many thousand kids that even get to go to D1 college, and then one in one of those kids that can play at any level, especially the level that I played. I played at top level leagues, every country,
Mhm.
EuroLeague,
Right.
Euro Cup, Champions League, like
Right.
B2B, ACB, like, you know what I mean? So to me, that's an accomplishment in itself, man.
Right.
Just to do
Right.
it for that long, 10 years, bro. 10 years as a pro athlete at any level, man. I'm
That's
thankful, man. I'm
yeah.
thankful, bro. I'm super thankful, dog. Man,
Man.
hopefully God will keep turning my wheels so I can keep bouncing this ball, man.
Right. For
Mhm.
sure. I know
Yeah.
Charlie just has one quick question about
Yep.
some spots in Gonzaga, or in
Oh,
Spokane.
Spokompton.
Yeah, Spokompton. Spoke of Vegas.
Yeah, there it is. Jack and Dan's or the Bulldogs?
Oh man, I didn't go to either of those places. I went to 211. I went to
Okay.
Crazy Eights up on the north side.
Yep.
And where else did we go downtown? 211 was the spot though downtown, man. It was called 211 at the time. I don't even know what they call it anymore, bro. But they
I
used
think
to
feel
let
it's
us
you.
all in there. They
I
used to
used
let
to.
us all in there. They had a basketball up on above the bar, and they said, "Hey, we go in there." And they say, "Is your name on the basketball? Did you sign the basketball?" And if it was on there, we get free drinks. If it wasn't, shit, you better pay up.
yeah.
I used to work at River Park Square, man. I
My
went
man
to EWU.
Tyrone. My man Tyrone was working the door at 211, man. Tyrone,
Okay.
boy. Yeah.
Bruce used to work down
You
there. Bruce used to work down in. He was in Cheney for a couple years.
I went to
yeah?
EWU for my first 2 years for transferring to the Dub, but I did track
Okay.
and all that. But I used to work at River
Right
Park
on.
Square, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
familiar with that downtown
I don't
Spokane
even know
area.
I don't even know if they call it 211 anymore. I think they got a whole because that was like I think they called it that because that was the address of the bar or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay.
211. But I don't even think they call it that anymore. But yeah, in my day, that was the spot, man. We used to go in there and have a good time for
All right.
sure.
Go. I got one more for you real quick. I used to hear stories. One of my buddies, he was like kind of like the main guy at the kennel, and he would always talk about the warehouse and all the open runs you guys would have at the warehouse. What was that
Oh,
like?
with John Stockton?
Yeah, Stockton's warehouse. Yeah.
Oh man, bro, those games were fun, man. I tell you what.
I
Look, when I was at Gonzaga, John, I forget what is he now? Almost 50, right? He's got to be 50,
He's almost
55.
60, probably.
yeah.
Okay, but at the time he
Yeah.
was in his late 40s, early
Okay. Yeah.
50s, I
Yeah.
think, while I was there. Bro, we'd go down there, he'd still be fucking in better shape than all of us. Like
What?
six-pack abs, like buff biceps, strong as shit, like run up and down the court all day long, no problem, bro. At that point, we were all convinced John could have still played in the NBA at that point, back in 2007, 2008, 2009, bro.
Right.
Whatever age he was at that time, he was just his mind and his speed of the game, how he could
Right.
slow it down and speed it up and see things, and bruh, and playing with his sons, John and Michael and David, like, David especially, he was a tiny little son of a bitch at that time, bro. He was
Right.
so small, and he was
Right.
in there hooping with us, like me and all the other guys, Ira, Josh Heitfeld, a bunch of other cats, Austin Day would be in there in the summertime, like grinding, little David in there, just tiny little fella, and then fucker, he ends up making it in the NBA.
Right.
Going up
You know what I
against
mean?
Pargo.
Oh, bro, at the time, dude,
Pargo was a grown man.
Pargo in there too, bro. Listen, David was tiny. I'm telling you, he was tiny. In there hooping with us, like trying to hold his own, and then ending up getting, walking on and then getting a scholarship, however his career went at Gonzaga, I don't remember, and then, getting some call-ups and stuff to the NBA. It was like, bruh, that Stockton DNA, they got something special in it. I tell you what.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. So this last question that I want to know. You're like I said, you're one of the best cats and the most underrated cats from the town. You know,
Yeah,
you've played
appreciate
again.
that, bro.
You've probably played against the greats from the town.
Mhm.
Who's the toughest guy from Seattle you've ever had to guard?
Who? For me personally,
Yeah, for you one-on-one, or you know,
I I think I
matchup.
think I think Terrence Williams was my toughest matchup.
T will.
Yeah, just because you know what I'm saying. We were kind of the same height, and he was super bouncy and everything, but he always had a strong physical body. He was always kind of buffer than everybody else. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
And he had that arrogance and that cockiness and that swag to him before all of us else were ready for it.
Right.
He was just like, you know, he just had that like kind of the way he carried himself. He was just above everybody, bro. With
Okay.
that, with like that far as that mentality and that just like fuck you, I'm a killer attitude. You feel me?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Like I feel like Terrence had that before any of us did. So in my personal opinion, I feel like he was always the toughest dude, bro. Like within it, whenever our Rotary teams will match up, or whenever we match up in workouts with Steve Gordon and Mike Dickerson or whatever it would be, I always felt like he's probably my biggest competitor, and I felt like he was the dude that was right there with me, as far as like, no disrespect to anybody else or
Oh
any
yeah,
other
no.
names, you know, Martell, John, any of those guys, they're all fucking top 2, 3, 4, 5 elite, all of us, you know what I mean? But in my mentality, I felt like, you know, Terrence was right there with me as far as being like my biggest competitor as an athlete or a ball player or just a boss out there on the court. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Terrence
a
was a
dog.
fucking bro. He was a beast, dude. How many? Listen, can you tell me the last time a senior got drafted in the lottery?
You're right.
Bro, that doesn't happen. Seniors don't get drafted that high, bro.
Right.
No way.
He was in the lottery, right? He was top. He wasn't like 10 or 11, some
He
shit
was
like that.
Yes, I think he was like, yeah, something like that. I don't remember, but he was top 10, I believe.
No, he was a lottery pick, bro.
Yeah. He was lottery.
Seniors don't get guys that go 4 years in the university, go to college for 4 years, don't get picked in the top 15, bro. So that says something about you, bro. He was a different animal. Terrence was tough, man. Yeah, dude.
He's a dog.
Yeah, a lot of respect for him.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, Micah, man. We can't sit here. This has been a great conversation. We could probably do it offline for another 4 or 5 hours. But we know you're on vacation. We just wanted, you know, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, man. It's been dope. It's been a great experience. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for your time. And to our followers, man, go follow him on Instagram. Is it KidMiz1?
Yeah.
Go follow him.
Kid.miz.1.
All right. Go follow him. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube, on Twitter, all that. We got Micah Downs here, live from Portugal.
Guys,
man, we appreciate you, man. That's love.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
It's been fun, fellas.
All right.
Really good sometime.
All right, man, for sure. God bless.
Respect. Yep.